people know what we think, in which direction we're going, and if they want to join us, if this is fine with you, of course, with all of you. So we can basically then, as I said earlier, expand this network of supportive professionals.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, a little bit more about myself. I've been working for a company called Solutions Finding for 17 years now, where we train and develop the Neertlang brain instruments. And also working with Cobus Neertlang, having creativity is a very big part of our lives, how to look differently at problems or challenges. And over the last 17 years, I can definitely say that my mind has changed completely when it comes to challenges. You know, you can never go and think back the way you thought about things before you were confronted with how to think creatively. So yes, so this is on the one hand a really good challenge to say how can we use creativity and whole brain thinking to look at this and make the most out of it, but also to support the whole network we have across the world and help them to still carry on and spread the good news and make money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a great point. What I love to say when it comes to what's the greatest value I got from graduating at Bethel College, or from Bethel College, is actually critical and creative thinking. I got a framework at college that Aaron also attended, this great framework of thinking critically and creatively. And I guess critical situations or crisis, such as we're all in right now, is a perfect playground to test that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it sounds too funny, but it's a great opportunity. That's the way I look at it. Thank you, Marita. Dragana, would you say a couple of words about you, please?
Yes, gladly.
Myself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me well?
Very well.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Because somehow it doesn't work with my headset. So in home office, right now I'm in home office. I don't know how it's with you, but in Berlin, so we avoid contact with other people.
Yes.
So yeah, I also have with my team conference today in a few hours later, and it's a really big challenge for all of us. And basically, we just start to thinking anew regarding all this situation, because probably, I don't know, maybe not with you, Aaron, because you're working already online, as I understand a lot. But we, till now, me and my team, we most of the time we work like in live contact, like personally. And now we have this big challenge, or our customer just ask us for break. Nobody know what will happen later, and suddenly regarding all this economical situation, training and coaching, because actually I'm dealing with personal development, with basically core business is leadership development, training and coaching. Sustainability is big topic. So after this crisis, shortly probably we think everybody will first of all try to take care about how to keep their own businesses, and we are not sure how it will look with this part of with our training and coaching. So I'm really wondering what you think about this. So my team is like, we want to start immediately with all possible online offers, but I'm still not sure, because right now everybody wants to switch like just to online. So I'm really wondering what will happen later. And I'm suddenly for some, as Georgia said, first of all, Georgia, thank you very much for this invitation. I think it's very important to to discuss with people all over the world and to support each other, to exchange also our experience and to see what will happen. So I'm really interested in how it's work around just in online area, but somehow I would love, is it possible in the future to continue with some mixture of online and the personal contact with clients?
Sure, I'm happy to speak to that. I think let's, how about we go through the rest of the introductions and then we can start there. Yeah.
Yes, please. Christiana?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect, I just unmuted myself. So Georgia, thank you for your kind introduction. A few more words about me. I'm coming initially from the financial services industry, worked for more than 13 years there, and later on became organizational psychologist, coach, supervisor, and actually already for 10 years working online and on-site with teams and with individuals. However, online, I have mostly one-on-ones, or I have some team developments online, but I never have done so far webinar. So yeah, that's a new challenge to look at for myself as well. And during the last 2 weeks, I have been communicating with many peers, colleagues, clients, and actually only today I made kind of a summary. It's called an emergency kit for the new normal, which I published on LinkedIn. So whoever is interested, I'm very happy to share. I don't know if it is useful for you. I just really collected kind of guidance more on the behavioral side and mindset side. And I liked very much what Marita said, that her mindset totally changed within all these years. When she was talking about this, I just realized myself how different I'm thinking now compared to back then when I was working still in banking, for instance. So it is, I can imagine now that a lot of people or a lot of our clients working still in banking or large organizations are totally freaking out at the moment and actually need a lot of help from professionals like us.
Absolutely.
In what way?
Well, supporting them with their processes. I mean, organizations, in my opinion, are never going to be the same after this crisis. And I mean, the last years were dominated by digital transformation, but a lot of companies, at least in Austria, were really fighting against it. At least this is my experience. And now they're just all forced, let's say, to
Go digital.
change, the processes, the organizations, the organizational culture is going to be key, in my personal opinion, to get there and to stay successful, to sustain. So it's a lot of work for us, actually. The question is, thank you, Georgia, for challenging as well this, what can we do? Yes, and how can we best, let's say, collaborate together in order to support all these clients in a focused and structured way?
Great. Did we get everybody?
Sonia is still there.
Sonia.
Or the other Georgia.
Okay, I think I need to unmute her.
Hi.
Or you can. Good. Hi.
I unmuted myself.
Oh,
well,
good.
I'm not Georgia. I'm
Uh-huh.
Sanya, and I'm working with Georgia in Maverick Consulting. Well, as we are discussing a lot about what we can do these days in this situation, I really want to hear all of you and your perspective and ideas, because I think that we are all affected with this situation and how we can do our business in this time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you all. Well, Georgia, I'm happy to jump in with just a few thoughts and then we can keep it going.
Sure. Just take a lead. Yeah,
I think that it's interesting. I think this situation affects all of us clearly, personally, financially, professionally, what our businesses are doing, and then we kind of reach this other level. How do we help how do we best help and support the people that we're in contact with, our customers, our clients, our prospective people. And I'm finding it a very interesting balance, because what I know doesn't work right now is selling. It just hasn't been working. I think that giving and being generous and actually showing up with the spirit of graciousness and being willing to support, whatever that looks like. You know, we have some clients who they just want to talk on the phone for 30 minutes and they don't really want anything else. So we become more of an advisor around that. So I think someone was mentioning how we do have experience here with moving some of our services online, but it's a pretty short history for us. We've done that. I would say we're just in the beginning stages of it, and then this virus hit. We started probably late last year doing that. So our, of course, in-person services have come to a halt. Any big projects that we had that we're finalizing or coming, like almost signing contracts or ready to begin a project, have stopped. The conversations have continued and they're good, but everything has slowed way down. And I would imagine that's how most of us are experiencing this. What has continued is one-on-one coaching. I'm doing a certification course online right now for the first time, just trying it out with one of our models. And that's just because it's with one person. I don't know if I could do it with more than one at a time, because it's pretty intensive. So I think that we're going to see a significant change. And I certainly I'm no futurist. I can't tell what the future is going to be. What I'm curious about is perhaps the new frontier for our profession will be, how do we show our value, and how are we able to show that soft skills, these vital skills for human interaction that we're all a part of, how do we show value and be able to effectively deliver a good portion of it online? I don't think in person is going to go away, but I think we're going to see a lot more blended. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what will be I think it will be the entry point is online. Mm-hmm. So that might be something that's absolutely free. In fact, we just in the last 2 days developed a new version of our compassion mindset that's 100% free to give away right now, because that's what people need, that's what people want, and then we'll move from there in time. I think paid services will come back in the U.S. probably in May, maybe. We'll see. The other thing I was curious about is if at some point here we can move into this mindset shift. Two people have talked about that, and I would love to get really specific about what in each of us, what is the shift that has taken place? What is it? What are we currently focused on, and what are we thinking about? But that's, I know for me, the mindset is, the shift is to be of service and be of value, and to not, I have to let go of financial stuff. There's nothing I can do about it. And that's a big challenge.
You cannot, in other words, we discussed it earlier a little bit. So it's, that mind shift happened to me I don't know. It was a process. And from time to time, I get stressed out if the financial situation is going to be better, good, whatever not. Even in January, I became a little bit stressed about, how it's going to look like. But and Sonia and I talked about it actually. But the thing is that we had. Whatever you do, whatever you create, the financial is going to be the outcome of it at the end. So it's going to be a product, a side product of whatever you create. And that's what has been proven to be right. Right now, I think we have every right to be more stressed than if we're not gathering enough leads, clients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have every right to do that, to be more stressed. However, I don't think that we have to, because it's a great opportunity from my perspective that what you just said, we just need to see how to show the value of essential skills, not soft skills, essential skills, which is communicating with each other. How can we show that value that can be gained even online in direct communication with us or recorded materials, etc. So I know Aaron has a huge network of partners worldwide. I know Marita has also network of partners, a huge network of partners worldwide. So what is your experience? What is your feedback from them about this situation right now? Both you and Marita.
Yeah.
Marita, you want to start?
Sure.
Maybe?
Okay, I can start. At this stage, our network is very quiet. There's not much coming in from them. We've got a few practitioners that have contacted me regarding small things. The one plus is that with the NBI, you can actually do everything online, and you can still help people, especially now, people being cooped up, not understanding each other. So it is an opportunity for them to actually offer a service, but it is a fine line. What do you make for free and what do you charge for?
Yeah.
Because in South Africa, a lot of people are not getting paid while we are in lockdown. So I think there's a lot of people out there that's really, really worried about what the future holds and whether they will still have a job once everything is over, because big companies, like for instance, Georgia, you know, Anna-Marie, they've got a printing business. They can't make money because it's complete shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
So all their staff is on no pay for the next 21 days. So yeah, it is a very fine line, and I think we will have to apply creativity to say, what are we going to offer for free? Because on the one hand, we have to make money to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is difficult. It's definitely not something that just, you know, pops into your head and say, oh, I've got a solution. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
May I add something? Maybe because it's really interesting for me right now, and I want to share with you. I can speak. I have a huge network here in German-speaking area. It's like more than 120 million people. It's German, Austria, Switzerland, and co. Georgia cover very well other parts of East Europe. I have a contact to Australia. But when I'm talking about German-speaking area, we have just since 1 year or 1.5 year like explosion or each possible online coaching offers, and I'm really very well connected with all these people. I know them from different kind of certification, and I can't stand anymore. Also. Talk with other colleagues. I can't stand anymore all this online. I mean, lots of them probably have good offer and good product and are able to offer this like a session value, as you tell George, or different good tools. But how to show like our uniqueness in this moment when everybody. This is really big question for me. First of all, we have two groups. We have private person and corporate people. And second one, like right now, each person who ever offer anything online talking about this, I don't have a fear. I'm fine here. Even here in Germany, we are really, it's a really good place to be right now, because even government gives some support for small and medium companies also. it doesn't matter what will happen, and I'm sure after a few months we will continue anyway. But for me, it's a big question in this group. I want to give ball to you. What you think, how to make something unique, and to say, okay, because there is like hundreds and thousands and 10,000 people just in German speaking area who said, I'm the one, I'm the best. So you don't need to have a fear, just keep going, everything will be fine. I mean, there is lots of just like fake player, but anyway, how to show this uniqueness.
I wish I had that answer.
I
wish I did.
I just
because
want to share with you. Am I going to be crazy, or it's fine?
You know, when I think about like my own mindset, though, that is something I've been struggling with, and we as Next Element have been struggling with for years. That was the issue before this virus, also. And now that everybody is feeling like they're forced to go online, it just is flooding the marketplace, and there's going to be schemes and rip-offs, and then there's going to be some amazing tools that come out of this, and there's going to be everything in between. So I think your question, that's the question, how to make yourself unique. And the just from a little bit of experience, the only thing that seems to gain us ground are things like this, things that are personal. They're not about the selling. Here I want to form relationships with everyone, get to know people, learn. If I can help any of you, I will. Whatever that looks like. I think when people come at their prospective clients, their current contacts in that spirit, it really goes a long ways. But that's the only thing I found to be remotely helpful. Hey, I wanted to say one thing before I forget. Would people be willing to put their LinkedIn profile link in the chat section, and so we could connect on LinkedIn?
Yes,
I know I use LinkedIn a lot. I'll do that right now. And if people want to go in and connect with each other, that would be great if you're so willing.
Great. To me, the pursuit for the answer is starts with all of us here in that sense. And first step is just exchanging these thoughts. One of the frameworks that we could use definitely is the framework of compassion mindset, because it's about changing the mindset, understanding others. We all find ourselves in this situation. To me, the NBI helped a lot, and now the more and more I'm thinking is, yes, this is something where we can add value to our clients, to our customers, how to benefit of understanding their own brain preferences, how they can benefit in these kind of situations, because this is when, at least from what I've learned, and Marita, you correct me if I'm wrong, in these stressful situations, our main preferences will come out as the strongest. Of course, depending on the environment, but this is what we're going to experience the most. And if we're aware of it, it might be easier for us then to adjust and become more proactive instead of reactive. What Christiana said, with financial background and knowing people from the banks, they're mostly reactive. Either employees or the banks themselves, they're pretty much reactive. Only when something hits them hard, like this, they're gonna jump into digital transformation. But until then, they don't feel, they don't search for a need to change, to evolve, or anything else. And maybe this could be something that we all need to think about, is because this situation demands that we evolve, right?
Yeah, there's no choice.
We're waiting in Serbia. So what I heard, there are measures in Germany and Austria that the government will cover, I don't know how much per month for each employee. But in Serbia, we are waiting for any kind of measure except moratorium on loans. We're waiting for now, I think, 2 weeks. So what does it mean to me? It means that if I'm waiting for someone else to make a decision that's going to influence my business, I better be out of business. Or I better start working for someone else. What I realized is that we have to see what we can do for ourselves first.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes in line with what you're saying. We need to reach out to our clients. We need to ask them. We need to ask them what they need, how they feel right now, what are their concerns, what are their challenges that they're facing right now. And if there is any way we can support them in that. Because they might also be able to support us to some extent. They might also share, I don't know, some of them might be using some great tools, online tools that can help us further strengthen our business capacity. They also might point us out to somebody else, but we can do the same for them. So I think it's a win-win situation, or we can make it a win-win situation. And the other good thing that I think is that we'll see who are really good clients or partners, who are true partners, the ones that are there, who are really trying to keep the relationship.
Yep.
You know, or at least just say hi. I hope everyone is well, and we'll keep in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I can share some experience here, because the last week I have offered to some of my clients a free coaching, like 1 hour per day, but per person just 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting to see all the clients from the non-German speaking countries applied and got a half an hour just to talk, like Aaron said, really just talking and trying to, I don't know, probably feel less isolated.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in Austria, the most clients which I have in Austria, no one of them signed up for a free coaching, for instance. It was very interesting realization for me.
Mm-hmm. Huh. There is something that I read, kind of touched me a little bit personally. My ego, I think. Well, not the ego, the arrogance, probably. My arrogance touched a little bit. Like, hey, I see a lot of people offering free stuff. What's the point? It's stupid and whatever not, because if it's free, it has no value. But if you're giving it away, if you're giving it as a gift, then it has value. So it's maybe a question of terminology, but it could be also this psychological thing that, first of all, it's the proximity, you know, all German, and you're living in Austria, you know, so they all know you there. So, you know, I can reach out to Christiana whenever. I don't need this for free right now, you know. So, or maybe she wants to give this for free, so then she can charge it later on.
No, it was very clear that is for the current situation. It's only 1 week or 2 weeks, and only this 1 hour, and that's it. And it's a clear giveaway to support in the current situation.
Understand. And what I'm experiencing in that sense is that in the last 2 years, Sanya is my witness in that we've been building our business even more abroad than in Serbia. So how come? Can you tell me that? And that was before Corona, of course.
Yeah.
How come?
Same for us. When we started our first curriculum that we designed for a train-the-trainer curriculum called Leading Out of Drama about 5 years ago, probably 80% of our trainers are outside of the US. Yeah. I have no idea why.
We have something in Germany. Everything what comes from USA is much better as from Germany.
Yeah. And how's that?
You have extra bonus here, but for Christiana, maybe, I don't know, Christina, maybe
Christiana.
my experience with Christiana, sorry, my experience with the clients, especially with the medium size enterprises and the corporate people. Lots of them, maybe almost most of them, used to work in offices. They are not too used to work in video conferences and online. I talked to a few of them. They are simply overload with video conferences. They're not too used. The
Right.
technique doesn't work at home. There is a bunch of emails, especially in a leadership area. People just overload, and simply they have no, I think, power to talk to anybody anymore right now. This is
Right.
like my experience, my impression right now.
I think you might be quite right.
I think it's like, you know, a pendulum swings from one extreme to the other. It's like we've gone way to the other side now, where our lives are now even more email, more time online, and there's no extra, even for a 30-minute conversation.
So what should be the main questions and the main takeaways that we can start wrapping up this conversation, because it's going to take us about 20 minutes to wrap it up.
Yeah, probably.
But I want to initiate it on time. We're going to have another call, another discussion this Wednesday, sorry, at the same time. And by the way, thank you, Aaron, very much for getting up this early, because it's
Yeah, sure.
7:40
Yeah.
a.m. Local time. What is something that we can share with wider audience, with other professionals from, doesn't matter which industry, that could be also an invitation to join us, to discuss, to join you for other discussions, to see how we can support each other.
Yeah. You know, one idea I have, and I'm completely stealing this from another group that I'm a part of, because it's working well. We have had one person coordinate, and if people are interested, for example, in trying something new online, like maybe you have a core product or something new you'd like to try that you're just not sure how it will work, but you want to work on it. We've been a test group, so that each person can deliver what they think is really useful right now that they're going to try, and they could practice 1 or 2 or 3 times, and we can be the test subjects, so to speak. And it's actually really great, because I'm learning about so many different perspectives. I've listened to somebody who's in Taiwan, somebody who's in South Africa, someone who's in Australia, and you get to learn so much about what's important to their customers around the world. That's one idea, and I'd be willing to do that.
Oh,
Others?
sounds really good.
Marita?
Yeah, no, sounds good. I just want to mention the other side of the coin. It's all these professional people busy with such busy lives are suddenly at home with their families, and they don't actually know each other anymore. So in South Africa, we had 150% more filings of divorce
Yes.
the week before lockdown.
Yeah.
So that's another
How many percent?
support that can be given.
Yeah.
Pardon?
You know, Marit, I had heard that, you know, China is now opening up. We have a distributor in China, and they're starting to do business now. But he told us that divorce rates are climbing so high because of the stress from going through this. Yeah. That's a really great business idea, or opportunity to connect. I think people are struggling personally more than professionally, actually, because we have to be at home and around each other, or isolated from all the people that we love at work, you know, if you're single or you don't have a family.
So it could be a one topic, like, yeah, how to deal with Corona at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if people are into coaching, that's a really good market. I'm curious about some other ideas. I'm flattered that people like the idea I stole. That's great. But I think there are also other ways we could support. I'm curious what's on your mind.
To me, I have this big question of which platform to use to, move your business, online business to, because we've been discussing Merit Consulting about it for the last 2+ years, or considering it for the last 4 years, but starting to seriously discuss to put something online already. Like I've seen that Christiana's and a person that connected us, Kevin Daly, he's been doing the NBI online, this pre-training session, so pre-feedback session, which is great. And we've been considering to do something like that, but we also want to make it look professional. And not only that, but other modules, trainings, which one should be recorded, which one should be interactive. What is the platform that kind of gives the most value for the money? It's one of the key questions of
yeah.
But this is at least some of the experiences that you guys have, or what could there be a model where we can all share one platform that would pay off for everyone, so we kind of work as a cluster for some of the things, like I don't know, just thinking, because it appears that it could be more efficient or cost effective when people get together, because we're all in this together, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
And if we share values close enough, then I don't think we have any problem of being a competition against each other, right? Or competitors, in a good sense, that we can work together or just work separately.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I personally use Zoom a lot because you have their whiteboards, you have chat rooms, you have unlimited number of people.
Or free version?
Well, I had to move to the paid version.
Which one?
Well, the cheapest at the moment.
Yeah, we did the same. Yeah.
Yeah, this version that I'm using now, I think is the pro version for small business, but so it has all those same things.
With webinars or without webinars?
Mine is with, but
the cheapest is with webinars.
The cheapest is with webinars or without?
With.
I think with.
Yes, definitely with.
So Georgie, another idea. What you said was just really encouraging to me. I have another colleague who, her name is Cindy Solomon, and she runs the Courageous Leadership Institute. And she has a model that's really intriguing. She funded a platform for micro-learning where people can create really high quality, short sessions that are video with some downloads, and it tracks your progress. And it's very much the same interface as Netflix, if any of you use Netflix as online streaming video.
Okay.
It will keep track of what you've watched, how far along you are, and which episodes are left. So why I like it is because it's all profit sharing. So for example, if we were on the same platform, the folks on this call, and Mike and I sold my course, well, I would get a certain percentage of whatever I sold. But if I sold George's course because I thought it was more appropriate for my client, he would get some and I would get some, and the rest of us would get a little bit, right? So it's everybody wins whenever anything is sold on the site. It just depends.
It's a pyramid scheme.
No, it's actually
No,
pure profit.
kidding.
It's actually pure profit sharing. But anyway, something to think of. That's a little bit more technical, involves a little investment, but it's kind of what you were
something like social entrepreneurship, or
absolutely.
So, and could you give us some link to this platform just to
I would, let me see if I can find it while we're still on here. Give me a second. Yeah,
because I have later with my team also meeting regarding this topic, and I have somebody who is really fit with IT marketing, so I could share and I could ask for more experts' opinion.
Sure.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can, I'll find it here while we're talking. At least you can go look at her site. You won't be able to get into the back end of it, but
Cindy Solomon, you said.
Cindy Solomon, yeah, she's quite something. She's she's great. She's a great speaker, and just she's really into courageous leadership, and as a female leader, yeah, that's her personal one there, and then here's her Courageous Leadership Institute I put in the chat.
Okay.
So anyway, something to think about.
I would also like to ask you to help me test out if our sign up builder or sign up form works well. So, and if you guys mind to sign up, I would really, if you don't mind to sign up, I would really appreciate it to see if it works. And we'll work on its visual, how it looks like, because we would like to create a list of people, a new list of people to inform about these discussions, because during the Corona crisis, I think it's good that we all stay in touch and exchange things. Then we can also post these videos on YouTube, on our web channel, video channel, and see during the crisis what we can do for each other. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Fine by me.
Yes, absolutely.
So the link is up there. Let me see if.
Oh, it's closer to it's at the top of the chat. Yep.
Yeah.
If you guys scroll up. So you want us all to fill that out, and
yes, to see how it works, and then if you guys have time, maybe to give a comment or whatever, that's also fine. You know.
Sure.
Do you think we should add something or not?
Here's something I'm starting to get excited, full of ideas now. So there is something I would love to hear just from my own information from everyone. Maybe next time if we get together again, is I'm curious from a business perspective. How are you taking care of your business? Maybe you're a solo owner, or maybe you're part of a company, but how is your business financially planning through this time? And what is the role of government subsidy? Like, it's all different in every country. So I'm just purely interested in that. Second one is, if you have a network of trainers like Marita I know does, if you're part of a network, how is your company supporting your network right now? That we started to touch on that. And the third one is, how are you organizing around or reaching out to your current contacts, your list of clients? What kind of support ideas do you do there? And the fourth one is, what about prospects? What about new business? What are you offering?
Easy.
And that's it. Just four.
There are a lot more, but I keep writing them down.
You want me to put them in the chat? I will.
Yeah.
This topics for next time or for
Yeah.
next week?
Yeah,
Next month.
It's for whenever we get together.
Well, we won't manage in 7 minutes, I'm afraid.
No, of course. No, I was not. I was expecting it for later.
But I would like to share at least, because I thought about this as well, what we are doing. So financially, how we're dealing with it right now, at least we don't have any travel expenses, so that's good. And we're considering what to invest in that could potentially bring us money later, not right now, but later. And luckily, we have something that some funds that are remaining, plus the state owes some subsidies that were promised a long time ago. Now we'll have to see what the government will do, and we're definitely not counting on that to be in the timely manner that we need.
Yeah.
So we have to take care of ourselves in that sense, as we did before. The second thing, how do we support our network? So we're also, thanks to Marita's trust, became a license owner license owner for certifying other NBI practitioners in 18 countries. And what we did, last week we had a conference call, and now we have a conference call each week to see, in a way similarly to this, how we can support each other, what we can do. All certified practitioners can bring in ideas. We also have a Google sheet that we share where we can write down those ideas. The third question was?
Contacts. How are you interacting with current clients?
What I did, I reached out, and it was more chaotic than structured, unfortunately. That's why I miss Sonia in the office. She's more structured. We reached out to our, let's say, top 5 clients and said, hey, whatever you need, we're here. And we're gonna have a discussion this week with several groups of our clients. So it's more about, hey, let's see where we at, what we can do, and from there on, we'll see what's going to happen. And we're also offering to some of our clients now to see what can we do online. Unfortunately, we don't get feedback as quickly as we would like to. But one of the major things is what do we do for the day one after the crisis? That's what's kicking in my head all the time, because we're currently trying to reach out everywhere, to you, to our clients, to our partners. But are we preparing ourselves for the day one? Because I expect that some of our clients will say, okay, we want you to deliver what you have promised us, or what we scheduled for March, April, May. We want you to deliver it next week. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. So yeah, that's one of the questions as well.
Great. I have the fourth one, but we don't have a lot of time. So do we want to?
Shall I report just briefly
Sure.
few answers,
Sure.
or do we have time? So we have basically since Friday officially support from our government in Germany for small medium enterprises, especially for corporation. They get everything anymore, and anyway. It's not like for every month, Georgia, as you said. It's a one-time support, and they think like it will be enough for basic for next 3 months. And basically, it's allowed everybody to apply for this money. Next year, they will check probably who was earned enough. For this year, we will need to give back, and the one who doesn't earn anything and have financial problems, probably they can keep this money. So it's without interest, without anything. So how we support our network, because we have like freelance people work with EQ Train, and we start last week with such online conferences. We have now every Monday with whole team, and we agree about this. If each of team member decide which topic is which topic is the best for him and for team to support whole team. So basically, right now we are to make new common strategies. So not each team member would start to run and to check what he can sell, but we decide to make a common strategy. And right now we are about this to decide which product or which few products have a most chances on the market right
to
now.
succeed on the market. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, makes sense. Makes sense
And
because we need
how to be interactive with the clients. Right now we decide to make like 1 or 2 products and want to offer clients. They said, okay, regarding of this situation, we know you don't need our services as right till before crisis, but maybe there is few things we could support you during this crisis, but also for free during this crisis. So after that, if you like, you can continue, but you should pay.
In my opinion, what Christiana said, it's an emergency kit. Maybe a good way to reach out to clients is to give a basic emergency kit for free. But if you get into the details, you can incorporate all your skills, tools, and whatever you have into this emergency kit. So maybe it could be a 15-minute video. I'm just bursting out the idea now. A 15-minute video or a 5-minute video of I don't know, most important steps for this situation, and then you have either a webinar or a recorded video for, I don't know, up to 30 minutes where you lead people step by step what they need to do, what they need to consider, what tools to apply, etc., etc., etc.
I think that's a good idea where we actually all can cooperate and be together in that kind of video.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
I'm actually doing something with some of our clients from 3 countries. We're gonna look at prioritizing right now. What should be our priorities, and we're gonna use the basic matrix: urgent, important, not urgent, not important. Yes, yes. And we'll also try to use as much as we can the SWOT analysis, which is, I mean, basic. It's a no-brainer. However, for other people in the, you know, to apply it on your personal life, it would be great. And this is what I get from the discussion with you guys. It could be something that people might be willing to pay for, even if it's $5. You know, this is what Sanya rose a question once to us. Hey, we need to come up with something. It doesn't matter how much it costs, but it has to cost at least something. Okay, one thing is to give away. But another thing is we need to keep the business running. We also need to keep money coming in.
Yep, absolutely.
Any thoughts, comments?
No, I think actually being able to charge something is really important. It doesn't have to be full price. I mean, it can be something completely new, but at some point, if we're doing something that really is helpful and valuable, it's okay to charge, and that might be different. Maybe it's pay later, maybe it's pay less. But
I have been in another webinar where actually with a UK consultancy, Positive Momentum, Matt Crabtree. I don't know, some of you might know him. It's quite a successful guy, and he said what they are doing is either business as usual or totally for free, because he said if you make some kind of reduced prices afterwards, you will never be able to raise to the level.
That's pretty much how we're approaching things. We either are doing it completely for free right now for a limited time, or it's just business as usual. I have a time limit, George, so
sure.
If we could wrap it up, that would be great.
Me too.
What's our next step then? Are you guys available for would you be interested to join this week again, or you want us to schedule another one for next week, same time?
Oh, guys, I would really ask you to do not schedule, is it possible any other day but Monday, because I have already 2 meetings Monday. So
I hear you.
I'm overloaded on Mondays. I have 3 meetings, so it's really too much for me Mondays, but I really would love to connect, to share with you.
Sure. How about in a week, George? We look for another time. What if I'll send George the recording here, and could you distribute it, George, along with a link for next week?
Sure.
I'm really fine with all other days from Wednesday or from Wednesday up. I'm really fine with any other day.
Any last words, all of you?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. This is most helpful and set my mind of thinking of new things. So yes, I would love to be back next time.
So
Great.
thank you very much, George and
Thank you,
Aaron, for
Marita.
organizing you girls too. I'm really looking forward to meet with you and to share experience also next week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Christiana?
guys. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much. Very
Christiana.
useful. And I'm going to run because actually my daughter is turning 10 today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So I'm going to have with her and her girlfriends a Zoom virtual party.
Oh, nice.
And those in front of
Nice.
the screen. Unfortunately, nothing else is possible. So thank you very much and
Yes.
looking forward to next week.
Okay, guys.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, George, can we catch up after this? I have a couple hours that I need to get to a client.
Sure. Just send me a WhatsApp.